Welcome back to my channel Lomzy Sews. In today's sewing tutorial, I will show you how to cut this bustier dress or a corset dress, pencil dress. It's very simple and really is beginner friendly. Let's start with the tutorial. The measurement I'll be using for this is bust 34 inches, waist 27 inches, hips 40 inches and dress length 40, shoulder width 14 inches. So I'm going to draft this on my pattern paper. I have my pattern paper and I have squared out a line. This line is my armhole line, so I'm going to place my tape starting from my armhole length. So here I have 9 inches. You're going to place your armhole length, and from there you're going to take the bust point measurement, the under bust measurements, and then the waistline measurement. I'll go ahead and square these lines out. Remember, in your own case, you're going to use your body measurements or the measurements you got from your clients, and you're going to adapt it to this. This works for all sizes. The only difference is going to be on the dart, and I'm going to tell you how to adapt the dart area if you're making for a plus size. If you notice, you will see that the bust point and the under bust line, I don't like to mark the lines full so that I don't get confused. That way it will be easy for me to recognize my lines easily. So this is the armhole line, this is the bust point, this is the under bust line, and then this is the waistline. I'll go ahead and mark the vertical lines. So on this place we are going to mark bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches for dart intake. And on the waistline you're going to take waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches for that. If it's a plus size person, make it 3 inches or 3.5, depend how big your bust is. I'm going to go ahead and connect this like so. So for the dart, if you have a very big bust, make sure you add 0.5 inches to the measurements I'm giving you. Next, I'm going to mark the bust points because we need to mark the dart. So your bust pan divided by 4, bust pan divided by 2, and that is what you're going to mark here. For mine is 4 inches. I'm going to mark that and square that out. Next, on the under bust point and the waistline, I'm going to take 1 inch dart intake towards the center front, and I'll go ahead and connect this line. And then on the towards the side seam, I'm going to take 1.5. If you're on the plus size, make this 2 inches, and if you have a big bust, make it 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and square this from the under bust point down to the waistline. So I'm going to connect this to the bust point like so. Also from the side seam, I'm going to also connect this curve like this. You can actually use your curve ruler to curve this like so. Next, I'm going to go ahead to contour the corset cups. So from the armhole line, I'm going to come down 1 inch, and then on the bust pan measurement, I'm going to go up 1 inch. And then I'm going to draw in the neckline, the sweetheart neckline. I will draw the sweetheart neckline like this. If you want this to be deeper, you can make it to be 2 inches. 2 inches is still okay. So I'll go ahead and curve this like this. First of all, I'll curve it like this. Later, I'm going to through it after marking the darts. Next, towards the center front, I'm going to come 0.75. If you're busty, make it 1 inch, and I'm going to connect this like this. And towards the side seam, I'm going to go in by 1.25. If you're on the plus size or big bust, make it 1.5, total of 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this like so. Next, you're going to through this and use it to mark the final neckline. So this is the final curve for my cup. The top pattern is ready. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I'll be using this to make both the skirt part and the back. So I'll go ahead and close this like this. You close the dart area. Don't mind the overlapping bust area. Don't mind that. That will be taken care of. So I'm trying to make the skirt part of the front panel. I'll go ahead and sellotape this here so that I'll be able to take down all my measurements. So from the waist, I'm going to come down waist to hips measurements. Yours can be 8 inches, 9 inches, it depends, but mine is 8.75. And from there, I'm going to take the length of the skirt. So I'll go ahead and square this line out. I told you the length of the dress I'm using is 40 inches, so that's total of what I have here. So next, I'm going to mark the hip line. From here, you're going to divide hips divided by 4, and you're going to mark that here, hips divided by 4. I'll go ahead and square it down to the hemline. We are going to make it a pencil dress, but first of all, let's make it straight so that it will be easy for you to make it to be a pencil dress. I'm just using a broken line because that will not be my final line. So from the hip line, I'm going to come down 3 inches because I want to make the shape of the pencil dress. So come down 3 inches. From there also, you come down 7 inches, and you're going to come in 1 inch here, and also at the hem you come in 1 inch. You can make this to be 2 inches if you want it really penciled. So I'll go ahead and connect this like this. And then from the waistline, I'm going to connect this to the hip line like so. I'll go ahead and cut this out. With this, the front pattern is ready. I'm going to use this front pattern to cut out the back. So I'll use this and place on another pattern paper for me to cut out for the back. So this is it after I was done placing it. Make sure you align this properly, and you're going to trace out the side seam. Like I said, don't bother about the bust area, the cups overlapping. By the time you sew this, everything will align properly. So the only thing I'm tracing out is the side seam and the armhole length. So I'll go ahead and take this out, and my back pattern is almost ready. So I'll go ahead and square out all the lines. So for the back pattern, I'm not going to be leaving this like this. We are going to take care of the back bulge, the zipper bulge, so that it doesn't fold at the back. So on the back, center back, I'm going to make a 1 inch dart at the back. This is for all sizes. So I'm going to mark that area, connect it like this. And with this, the back pattern is ready. I'm going to strike off this side. This is no longer needed. So I'll set this aside and go over to the front. I'll label this back. Then this is the waistline. This is the hip line. I'll go ahead and set this aside and work on the front. For this dress, this corset, it has a basque waistline. So I'll be making a basque waistline here. On the center front, I'm going to come down 4 inches. This is not a deep basque waistline. I'm just going to come down 4 inches, and on the side seam I'm going to come down 1 inch. I'll go ahead and connect this line, and then I'm going to drop down the dart leg. This dart leg, you can decide to leave it like this, but for me I'm going to be changing the dart leg position. So I'll go ahead and cut this out, and the skirt will be separate while the upper side of the corset will be separate. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Remember, you can decide to leave the dart leg, but I'm going to be coming in like this to change the dart leg. So from the under bust line like that, I'm going to connect this line like so. This is just up to you. You can decide to leave it the way it was or anyhow you want it. So I'll go ahead and cut this open and separate them. So I have 2 pieces for the upper side and then 1 piece for the lower side of the skirt. So guys, with this I have come to the end of today's pattern drafting tutorial. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.